Alright, so I've tried to record this video like 5 times already. We'll see what happens this time. Other than that, I'm done. So I want to make a delivery pickup video because I just bought a Tesla, but it was raining that day. I wasn't going to try to record in the rain. I don't like the rain anyway. It's like one of my weaknesses. If I'm Superman, rain is my weakness. But I just want to give you guys an idea about the buying process. I bought a 2023 Model 3 rear-wheel drive, standard range, white on white, as you can see behind me. I originally tried to buy this car Memorial Day weekend, so that's May like 25th, 26th, around there. And I was sitting around the house, I was playing with the configurator, and I was like, let me see if they got anything in stock, because I'm in Texas, which I will talk about that later, why that's important. Because, you know, they have the Gigafactory here. It's like maybe they got a lot of cars around. So I'm looking through, and I was like, you know what? If I find a white on white standard range, I'll buy it. And they had one. And in the Austin research area, pond area, what research the address was called. I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm supposed to get it. So I go through the purchasing process. It's like 3 clicks, and then you get to checkout. It's $250 down payment essentially. You can pay with it with your Apple Pay, Apple credit card. I have Apple credit card, so I went ahead and hit bloop, and we was on the races. It was almost too easy. It probably was, and it definitely is, because this is what occurred afterwards. So I had a trade-in. I had a 2020 Honda Accord. Tesla initially gave me an offer that I was satisfied with, and I was like, okay, too easy. I went to Navy Federal, didn't go there. I just digitally went there through the app, and I did a pre-approval for a trade-in, you know, including my trade-in for the new car. Navy Federal makes it very easy to do this. If you're affiliated military at all, I highly suggest you get a Navy Federal account, USA account, and a service credit union account. That's a secret. Nobody really knows about service credit union unless you've been stationed overseas. But definitely get one of those. Get all 3 of those at banks. Like, just have them, whether it's for insurance, whether it's for you know, buying cars, like whatever you want to do with them. Just have them. Open a checking account up with them. It's free, and just have it. Anyway, so let's say this was like, I don't know what day of the week it was, but I picked a Saturday delivery. So I gave myself like 4 or 5 days for everything to work out. I didn't know what I didn't know, and they don't tell you what you should know, and that's what I'm here for. So I do everything in the app. You got to give me your insurance. You got to show proof of insurance. You got to show you have a valid driver's license, and because I was in a trade-in, you got to show registration of the car you're trying to trade in. So I submit all that through photos through the app. Very simple. I give Tesla credit for that. A couple times it got rejected because it wasn't clear enough for them. It wasn't, you know, legible enough for them as far as the wording and the registration. So I had to send it up about 2 or 3 times, but it was no big deal. You get a pretty quick turnaround if they're accepted or not. So that's taken care of. Then I get, like I say, my Saturday delivery, Friday morning-ish, I get a message back from Tesla, like, hey, this is a change to your offer, X amount of dollars. If you want to take it, you can proceed. If you don't want to take it, let us know. And I'll mulled over for a little bit, and plus I'm at work, so I was busy. So work's over. I'm like, you know what, all right, I'll just keep the offer. And lo and behold, I get a message from Tesla's SA, like, hey, you've waited too late. We can't do anything with your trade-in if you still want to pick up the car Saturday. I'm like, what do you mean I waited too late? You didn't give me a time deadline for this. This is digital. Like, no. Because you're in Texas, or just because it's a trade-in, they didn't really clarify. We have to send you out a physical packet that you have to fill out and then return back to us. I was like, yo, my Saturday delivery has been scheduled since the beginning. If you know you had to send me something through the mail that I have to then return in the mail, why would you not send it out until Friday? It don't even make any sense. It's impossible, essentially, for it to come to me and get back to you guys within a day. Like, what are we talking about? So I wanted the car. So I did something stupid. I should have never done this. But I was like, you know what? Bet, keep the Saturday delivery. I'll do something with the car. So I started looking into possibilities of trading the car in somewhere else or selling it privately within a day's time span. So the best option out there was, insert ad here, CarMax. They were easy to work with. They gave me a deal that I was very comfortable with. Not a deal. It gave me a trade-in value that I was comfortable with. And I'm going to CarMax. So I go to CarMax. I get the trade-in offer. And I had a Navy Federal pre-approval check, like I told you guys. The problem is the pre-approval check has a trade-in value. So the check is only for how much you're paying for the new vehicle minus your trade-in allotment and whatever down payment you're going to give. So let's just say, for sake of argument, this car was $43,000. I got a trade-in offer of $26,000. So it'll be 43 minus 26 is going to leave you with 17K, right? And that's what the check is actually for, 17K. So I couldn't use it for this deal anymore. So I had to scrap that. And I tried to get a new loan, new check submitted. Same day, Navy Federal was down to do it, but I had to turn in the old check physically in order to get the new check. So I was like, okay. And the one thing about Navy Federal, USA, or Service Credit Union, there's not a lot of physical locations. There are some, especially in the military area where I'm at, but there's not a lot of them. So I just wasn't able to get that taken care of and still meet the Saturday delivery deadline that I had. So I canceled the order. That's $250. Gone. Just gone. A couple days go by, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to my original idea. I really wanted a truck when I first started looking for a new car. I wanted F-150, Ram 1500, or the GMC Sierra 1500, but I just could not find a dealer that had a good enough deal with the options I wanted. And I will say this, Ram is offering 10% off of the Bighorns and your Laramies right now, but it's just hard finding it with a 12-inch screen and with certain things I just wanted in it. So, and you would think as big as Texas is, I would have found it. I couldn't find it. And I was doing 250 to 500 mile radius. I was giving myself plenty of room. I couldn't get rid of the urge. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and go with it again. I do an order again for the Tesla. This time, I do a pre-approval for that model particularly. When I did that, I have to give them the VIN number. The VIN number was the same VIN number that I had for the vehicle purchase the first time. So I was like, all right, it's gonna be too easy now. I've done everything before. Everything's gonna be great. Everything's gonna be cool. I do a new pre-approval check with Navy Federal. They approve it. Everything is great. But then I get to like a day or two before delivery again, and I start asking questions about, hey, like, I heard this about Texas. We can't do tax, title, and licensing here. Like, we gotta do that separately, and blah, 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 blah. Lo and behold, come to find out, yes, Texas does not like Tesla that much. They like them as far as their money for a company, but they don't like them for individual users of the Tesla products. So Tesla's not authorized to be a dealer here. They're like a third-party salesman, how you can classify it. So a lot of things a dealership would normally take care of for you in a new car sale, they can't do it physically. We have to do it ourselves. So with this being said, I had to pay the 6.25% tax, title, and registration fee on the car at the registration office myself, which would normally be done at the time of sale. So when you get a car loan, 99.9% of the time, people get a car loan and they get the total value of the loan, whatever it trade in, if there's any negative equity in it, or I hate to use negative equity because equity requires positive, right? But any negative value in that loan, as well as your tax, title, and license fees. Well, my initial loan didn't have that. It just had the value for the car. And I was like, you know what? I can pay out of pocket, but I really don't want to because that's not fun. So I was like, you know what? Can you guys, let's go ahead and do an extension real quick and like add value to my loan. Oh, too easy, we can do that for you. So because the loan was still out and I had never actually picked up the check, they went ahead and increased the value of my loan to cover the expenses of the registration fee. Well, again, I was trying to talk to Tesla, let them know what's going on, let them know like, hey, my delivery date is going to be thrown off a little bit because I can't get this check until this other check is taken care of and like turned in and voided, and there's a whole little scenario. And so, talking to SA is almost like I don't know what the SA stands for. I don't know. That's just Tesla's terms for what the people you deal with through the app, because they text you, and that's like your contact information for your personal representative. Or sales associate, maybe what SA stands for. It doesn't make any sense, but let's say that's what it stands for. So anyway, I'm talking to them. And talking to them is like talking to a robot. They give you the same response, same answer, no matter what you're asking, what you're saying to them. And I was like, okay, you guys have no ability to show empathy or sympathy. Okay, got it. So I was just frustrated because customer service wasn't good. So this time I was annoyed. And I was like, you know what? Cancel order. Another $250. Gone. Another week goes by. And I'm like, okay. I still want a Tesla. Let me do it. And this time around, everything lines up a lot cleaner. Things are flowing smoothly. Nothing's stopping anything from happening. So damn it, I guess I'm gonna go with the damn wholesale process. So I do. Today is Sunday. I picked the car up on Thursday. I had a scheduled picked up time of 4 p.m. I drove out to Austin, sold the car to CarMax. CarMax gives you a check immediately for whatever value's left on the trade-in. My trade-in got me about $5,000 of money in my pocket. So I went to Tesla, got an Uber, went to Tesla with the Uber, and got dropped off. When I got there, just so happened when I got there and like I was in uniform, so a guy came and talked to me, whatever, like, hey, I got an appointment at X amount of time. I was a little early, and he was like, oh yeah, I think your car is ready already. So we go around the side, and my car is ready, and they give you a nice little nameplate. And I'm like, okay. I walk around. The rain isn't as bad at this point, but it's enough to where I don't really spend a lot of time. The car looks really nice. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't see many gaps. I didn't see much to talk about. So I was like, I accepted delivery. The only thing I will say, there is a little bit of slight road noise coming from this driver's side window at speed. So I don't like that. But other than that, no real complaints about the car. I am, like I said, $500 in the hole now, which we will see if Tesla does anything about, which would be very helpful because $500 is a car payment. You know, one car payment for free on Tesla for all the things I've gone through. But so far, I've had one supercharger experience. Very nice. I'm in Texas. You ever heard of Buc-ee's before? Buc-ee's is a gigantic gas station, but now they have 48 supercharger points to the one I went to in Temple, Texas. I've charged for free at a couple of charge points that were the Juicebox 40s. There's a solar panel over top, and it allows you to charge for free. And there's a public park that had a charging spot. Both of those were very slow, I won't deny. They were charging at like 7 amps for one. The other one's charging like 23, 24 amps. And that's very low. That's level 1 charging speeds, in my opinion. They might call it level 2, but to me it's level 1. For anybody buying a Tesla, I will say my recommendations: live near a supercharger if you can. If you don't live near a supercharger, please get at home charging, because especially where I'm at in Texas, it is so hot. I've had a car, like I said, since Thursday. Every day I get the cabin protection warning because it's 110, 120, 130 degrees inside this car. You would think the black would get hotter than the white does, but it gets pretty hot here. So they give you tint standard, but it's not a real dark tint. And the roof is tinted, but I can feel, like, to the touch, the shit is hot, blazing hot. Like, that's really hot. So you really need to invest in some darker tint because the energy is going to be drained. You're going to burn a lot of energy just off the AC. And I would say in a standard day, if you aren't going through that kind of heat, you might lose 1% for a day. But with that kind of heat, you're losing like 5 to 10% of range or battery charge, how you want to look at it, just from the car sitting there and keeping itself cool. So definitely, if you're in a warm climate, exceedingly warm climate, those are things I recommend to you. Personally, I live in a duplex right now because I'm about to leave soon. Military people, we stay somewhere every 2 to 3 years. So I'm not really, focused on buying a house while I'm here because I have very short term, a couple months. But definitely when I go to my next location, I will have at-home charging because that's the real benefit of the electric car. Without that, you will sometimes find yourself paying more for an electric car than you would for an ICE car. internal combustion engine. So just know these things beforehand. But I will say, depending on where your car was built, you can get a pretty good deal as far as how it's working. Mine was built in, we'll cover that up. It was delivered to Fremont, but was it built there? Not sure. It says date of manufacture April 2023. So maybe April was a good month. Because like I said, my car was assembled pretty well. Yep. On board, Fremont, California. So this is a Fremont build. I heard a lot of people saying things that were negative about Fremont, but personally, I don't have any problems so far. Like I said, minus the wind noise. And this is the total price of the car. My only option is the seats. But with all that being said, one benefit of buying the car in stock and not getting it when I initially purchased it, in May, I was paying the full $40,000, but after I canceled it twice, this wasn't even a part of the reason why I canceled. I canceled it for other reasons. The car got a $2,000 price decrease for buying an in-inventory vehicle. So mine was $38,770, and then you also get a $7,500 tax credit, where before it only qualified for $3,750. So though I'm annoyed at losing $500, I did save a couple $1,000s in the long run by having this deal be canceled twice and then picked up in June instead of in May.